Hi guys, welcome to a new video. So here we are, clear blue skies, lovely weather, but it's still a bit nippy out here. My hands are a bit freezing cold. Anyway, I've got my Coronal golden cedar wood treatment here, and we're just going to retreat that cross beam on the garage, and then I'm going to go off and get some guttering, and we'll gutter the entire length of the garage as much as we can. And what I'm thinking, someone suggested we get another water butt, because I've got one over there. Now I'll show you how the polycarbonate in my conservatory goes into that water butt there, and I use that quite often actually for my indoor Blagden pond to do water changes, and I find it really useful because all I do is fill it up with a bucket of water and pour it in, and I do that quite regular. Doesn't cost me anything in terms of water, because as you know, all bills are going up and you need to conserve where you can. So I thought what we'd do is put another water butt there, and then we'll have two, so basically 200 litres in total of water that I can use to top up ponds when necessary without having to use chlorinated water. I do have a dechlorinator. I'll install that at some point and you can see how that looks. But yeah, so without further ado, let's get the wood treatment put on, and I'll see you in another video. So guys, I've just done a new coating on there. Hopefully you can see that. New coating all the way down there. Coating all the way along there. And that's that repainted now and retreated. I just thought I'd show you what I've done here. As you can see, it was originally screwed in there, and I won't be able to get my guttering underneath there. So I basically got this aerial, because this is a TV aerial for the garage. I've got a TV in there, you see. So I've just lowered this a little bit. You know, that's exposed a little bit, but when we put the guttering, it will fit underneath. So I just wanted to show you what I've done with the TV aerial, just to adjust it a little bit in order to get our guttering going all the way from the back here, you know, towards the front of the house. So I just wanted to show you how I've gone about moving that. Secured the cable here with a cable tie. Normally you would have this coming through the hole in the recess in the bracket there. However, I've had to modify it slightly just so that you know, I'm able to get my guttering underneath there. So we've got a bit of sun out today. So I've just been to a local hardware store and got a few bits and bobs. So we've got some more brown guttering, and I've got a piece of pipe here. It's called Floplast, 50mm brown 2 metre piece of pipe, and we'll have that at the end of the garage there. And I'm thinking that I'll get one of those 100 litre containers so that we can store some of this water off the garage roof, as well as some of that obviously will be coming off the polycarbonate roof for the pond as well. So without further ado, let's get this installed and get some work done. I thought I'd just show you some of the accessories I've got here. So here is my pipe connector and union, and another union there, another union there, another union there. That's like an adapter for the flow pipe. We've got these end cap bits. They've got seals on them, but I do like to put a bit of silicone on, and then these clips. So without further ado, let's get this installed. Hi guys, so I've been doing a lot of work with the guttering system on the garage. It's not completely level, it's a bit more raised back at that end than it is at that end. So there is a little bit of water basically hanging around down that end, but it's not a major issue. So I've had to amend and change. I don't know if you can see that in the background, but there's a cctv camera that I had to lower down a little bit to allow the actual guttering to flow. In the process, I've really badly hurt my hand inside the garage because I've had to pull one of the cables out. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I've done a massive garage conversion in the garage regarding a pool table room, and I've had to pull off some pieces of wood and some insulation to get access to those cables, and in the process I've got some bad damage in my hand. It's really painful. One of those things, I guess. So I'll just show you, how I've positioned it a little bit so it's a little bit lower than it was. So there you can see the CCTV camera. I've managed to lower it about an inch so it doesn't impede the flow of where the guttering system is. So you can see the guttering system there. So essentially that's more or less what we're up to. As you can see, it gets a bit full at this end, at the back end of the guttering system. But as you can see, it's running down there, and it seems to be flowing a lot easier than it was when I've lowered that CCTV camera. So as you can see, this is more or less how it's working. So I just wanted to give you more of a look, and it seems to be holding together and doing quite a good job. I think as long as it doesn't rain really heavily, this guttering system should manage most weather conditions. So I hope this gave you more of an idea on how it's looking. As you can see, it's flowing down there nicely. Let's just zoom in there so you can see a little bit better. So that's what I've done today. Painful day nevertheless, but a constructive day nevertheless. Alright guys, I thought I'd just give you a quick look at my conservatory. This is polycarbonate as well. I haven't done this was done a long time ago before I moved here. But this is the polycarbonate roof on my conservatory. Obviously you can see there's a guttering system that goes round. And my dad actually converted the guttering system a little bit here to flow into this water tank here, which I believe is a 100-litre water tank, and I use it quite often to top up my fish tanks in the house, because obviously it will have chlorine in. So essentially I'm thinking of doing a similar thing to this over here. So the guttering system will literally run along here and down into another water tank, and I thought this would be a good idea, so I'll leave it there for today. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you what I've done with the guttering system. It's pretty much finished. I just need to install a water butt at the front end of the garage, and then I might have to, I don't know, grind a channel out in the concrete to move the water further down towards the drain, but I'll show you what I've done, and hopefully this will be informative. Okay, so here we have my guttering system. So I've done an end bit of guttering there that will slope down to our downpipe there. I've also had to move that piece of wood because it was 2 foot high up and I couldn't get the guttering underneath it, so I had to grind down a little bit of the post and then lower it and then screw it back in, because I put that piece of wood there to support that post, you see. So there we have the guttering system. We have a downpipe, and it does sort of flow towards the downpipe at this side. So the downpipe goes down there, and I'm going to put a water butt there to collect water. And I may decide to do something with this water here, so it goes towards that drain we've got over there. That's the water butt that goes off the conservatory. I just wanted to show you that. That's something my dad installed. So here we've got our guttering system, and I put a little piece at the end of that bend there, so it forces all the water there, and more or less sometimes we get a bit of water it collects at the far end at the guttering, but it doesn't overflow to the point where it goes over. So essentially, even if there is water in the guttering system, it will never overflow, and if it does get to that point, it'll come down here and it'll empty down that pipe. So I just wanted to show you what I've done. Cost, what would I estimate? Probably 60 quid from B&Q for this guttering system, but it does its job. At the end of the day, it keeps that side of the garage dry, and it also keeps water outside of the pond there, because it was dripping in around that side, you know, where the sleepers are. So now we've done the guttering system, it's dry and it functions well. So I just thought I'd show you it. So I thought I'd show you the system in operation. As you can see, the water there, just zoom in if you can see that over there. It's working quite well. So guys, that's the guttering system, and it seems to be functioning well, and I think it does a good job really. So before I go, I'll just show you what's going off with the small pond. I do have a bit of an algae problem. I always keep having algae problems with this pond no matter what I do, even though there's tons of plants in there that should be taking up the nutrients, and there's only 4 tiny fish in there. It's not like there's a ton of fish waste going into the pond. So let's have a look. So here is the Aquascape DIY pond filtration system I put in there. This is the waterfall as it flows in. As you can hear, it sounds quite nice, doesn't it? But if you have a look in here, we clearly have an algae problem. I'm not sure how best to solve this, because as you can see, I've got plenty of plants here, and some plants along there as well, and obviously some basket plants as well, but we still have this algae problem. So I'm going to have to give this a bit of a clean. As you can see, my fish seem to be enjoying the sun, and I have been feeding them little bits of food, but not mega amounts, you know. There's just a major amount of algae in this pond, and even in the filtration system that I've put into effect here, which is like a bog area with some plants, So that's the filter system. This is the waterfall system. This is a wetland filter in effect, because we've got plants living in the gravel itself. Different types of sizes of gravel, ranging from pea gravel to small rocks, as you can see. And then obviously we have our second waterfall that goes into the pond itself. We've got various types of plants here, grass plants really. Same here, a lot of irises. I like using irises because they do absorb nutrients. Unfortunately, that still isn't enough to deal with this algae. So either I consider a UV filter or possibly more plants. I really think there's enough plants here, so I'm not sure what's going on. But you guys want to leave a comment in the comments box and let me know what you think. How should I best proceed to deal with this algae? Because I've already done a deep clean to get rid of this algae earlier on this year when I was rebuilding the waterfall. Anyway, I thought I'd just show you how this pond is progressing. Still much work to be done, but we're getting there in the end. Right, I'll see you later. Bye bye.